close your eyes and imagine this. It's 1150 AD and you're waking up on a dirt floor, your back stiff from yesterday's labor. The air smells of smoke and damp straw. Outside a rooster crows, but you've been awake for hours, dreading another day of backbreaking work. This isn't just survival, this is the life of a 12th century serf, a world where you're bound to the land, your lord, and a cycle of endless toil. Today, we're stepping into their shoes. Could you endure it? Who were the serfs? Serfs made up over 90% of medieval England's population. They weren't slaves, but they weren't free either. As villains, a feudal tenant, they were tied to their lord's manor, forced to work his land 2 to 3 days a week, just for the right to farm their own tiny strip. And if they tried to leave, the lord's men would drag them back, or worse. But here's the twist. Serfs had rights too. They couldn't be kicked off their land, and the lord owed them protection from bandits or invaders. Of course, that didn't stop him from taxing them into poverty. In some villages, serfs even had to pay a merchet tax just to get married, because the lord didn't want to lose their children as future laborers. And forget owning a mill. If you ground your grain anywhere but the lord's mill, you'd be fined. This was called soke right, and it was just another way lords squeezed peasants for profit. Dawn, a serf's grim morning. Before the sun rises, our serf, let's call him Thomas, crawls out of bed. His home is a one-room hovel with walls of wattle and daub, a thatched roof, and a dirt floor. If he's lucky, his family has a wooden chest for storage and a hearth for cooking. If not, they sleep next to their livestock for warmth. Breakfast is a slab of dark rye bread, so coarse it could wear down teeth, and weak ale. Water's unsafe to drink, so even children drink beer. Then it's off to the lord's domain, where Thomas will spend hours ploughing rocky soil with a wooden plough pulled by oxen. One wrong move and the reeve, the lord's enforcer, might dock his pay or worse. In winter, work didn't stop. Serfs repaired tools, spun wool, or chopped firewood, all while battling frostbite in threadbare clothes. Women worked just as hard. While men ploughed, wives brewed ale, tended vegetable patches, or spun wool into yarn. A medieval housewife could spin 2 miles of thread a week, enough to make a single tunic. Backbreaking labor and the daily grind. By midday, Thomas's body screams for rest, but there's no break until the church bells ring for none, 3 p.m., if he's lucky. Lunch is a bowl of pottage, the same gruel he'll eat for supper, boiled peas, onions, and maybe a scrap of bacon if it's a feast day. Meat? A rarity. Most serfs ate it 10 times a year, if at all. After lunch, it's back to the fields. Harvest time is the worst, sun up to sundown, swinging a sickle until your hands bleed. And if storms ruin the crops, tough luck. You'd still owe the Lord his share even if your family starved. Children worked as soon as they could walk. They scared birds from crops, collected firewood, or minded animals. By 7, they'd be in the fields full time. Some lords demanded boon work at harvest, extra unpaid labor. The only reward? A communal meal of bread, cheese, and watered-down beer. Evening, what passed for free time. As dusk falls, Thomas finally tends his own strip of land, a tiny plot wedged between other serfs' fields. The open field system meant no fences, so a stray cow could ruin a year's work overnight. If he's lucky, his family eats a scant supper by firelight. More pottage, maybe an egg from their chicken. Then it's prayers. The church ruled life as much as the Lord. Tithes, 10% of their harvest, went to the priest, and skipping mass meant fines. After that, collapse onto a straw mattress, listening for wolves or the Lord's tax collector. Entertainment was scarce. In summer, villagers might gossip by the fire or play Nine Men's Morris, a board game. In winter, they huddled indoors telling stories of saints or monsters. Marriage was practical. Love, a luxury. Most weddings happened after harvest, when food was plentiful. The bride might bring a spinning wheel as her dowry. The harsh realities: no weekends, no wages, just dawn-to-dusk labor year after year. If famine struck, like the Great Famine of 1315, entire villages died. Disease? With no doctors, a broken bone could kill you. And if war came, lords burned crops and conscripted serfs as cannon fodder. Yet without serfs, the Middle Ages would have collapsed. Their sweat built castles, cathedrals, and kingdoms. So next time you complain about your job, remember Thomas. Want more medieval misery? Smash like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What's the worst job you've ever had? Next week, we raid a medieval kitchen to taste their disgusting food.